Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm just going to prune a few more trees today. I'm going to start with this liquid amber tree. So we'll bring the camera in a bit closer. We'll have a look at it. Okay, so as you can see, it's just starting to get a bit too full again. I gave this a good pruning back not long ago, but it grows pretty strong, as you can see. If you don't keep on top of it, you get bigger and bigger leaves out here, and the small leaves in here, and you can see we're getting some quite small little leaves now start dying off. So I'm just going to start reducing it back. Put on my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. And like always, I'm going to be pruning everything growing up and pruning to an outward facing branch or leaf, depending on where it is. It's not the easiest to prune when you've got it like this. You know, if you had it that you could defoliate it, well, I'm not going to defoliate it now this time of year. I think I already defoliated it once this year, so I think we'll leave it now. We'll just kind of keep on top of the pruning so that little leaves like this don't end up dying off, because they're not getting any sun. The bigger leaves are taking all the energy, so we'll just keep pruning it back bit by bit. Just try and keep on top of it. To try and keep the branches growing in the direction we want. Any big leaves we'll take out. This one there is a bit sick looking, another one there. A few of these that are growing down here we'll get rid of. So basically, I don't know if you can see much difference there, but it's getting quite cluttered in here, this part actually. Take out a few more of them leaves, just declutter it a bit. And you have this branch up here, but I have another one under it, so I'm going to take that one off altogether. I have a branch here which I don't think I need. I'm going to take that one out as well. We'll just go around the whole tree, just pruning it back like this. You can see as soon as they're not in the sun, they start dying off. So it's kind of imperative that you keep on top of them. So what'll happen, they'll just keep growing out, like say like this one here. If you can see that one there. That's coming from right back in here, and it's just growing longer and longer. The leaves are getting, you can see how big the leaves are getting, and that'll just keep getting longer and bigger and stronger. You see there, another one that's coming from right in here off this branch. So it's a good 8 to 10 inches long, and that's just sapping all the energy that could be going into all these smaller leaves at the end. And it'll just keep getting bigger, and then you'll end up just chopping it right back to the start because it'll get too thick. So you want to try and keep on top of it if you can. It did take me a while to identify this tree because I didn't think it was a liquid amber start, because it has a completely different leaf to my other liquid ambers. But then I eventually googled it and found it, and it is a type of liquid amber, alright. It was a big tree when I got it, big tall one, and I chopped it back and basically just grown all the branches from there then. That's the way a lot of my trees, how I start them off. Most of my trees are nursery stock trees that I just buy, and I just chop them down and I start from scratch and build the tree. I like the idea of building your own trees from scratch. You know, get a tree with a nice bit of a trunk on it. Now a lot of time when you buy nursery trees you can't tell, because like this one now, look down there, it's got kind of a wide enough base and all that, but when I got it, it was probably buried to about here in the pot, so it's a bit of a risk you take. Like there's this one, even there's a lot of root over this side, very little on this side, so it's kind of like you can be lucky when buying nursery stock trees, if at all possible. When you're in there, before you buy it, dig down, always try and dig down in the pot and see if you can see the root base and see if it's a good one or not. The top of the tree, you can always grow it to whatever way you want, but if you can get one with a good root base to start off with, then you're already halfway there. Okay, so I'll keep going on this tree. I'll keep pruning on it. You can see there now I've pruned these back to the small leaves. All the smaller, tighter leaves now are there. So I'll keep going with the whole tree and then we'll come back. Okay, so I think we're more or less done with this one. Like I said, I just keep every few weeks, just go in, give a little pruning back, rather than going crazy on it in one go. I'd rather do it a bit at a time and just keep working on it like that. Well, excuse me, it will probably need tightening back. It grows lots of back bud and lots of back shoots, so like it could get pruned a fair bit back, like the shoots going all the way back to branches, but I'm not going to do that now. For now I'll just keep it in some sort of shape. We'll just keep pruning it. You can see how small the leaves are getting on it now in comparison. Let's show you how much we took off. You see, it might not look it, but we took a fair amount off. I would say well over half, 3/4 maybe even. Yeah, so that's that one done. So we'll move on to the next tree. Okay, so the next tree is this myrtle tree. This was an air layer I took a few years back, and there was no branches on it. It was just the main trunk. So I air laid off a big bush in my father-in-law's garden. So I'm just slowly but surely growing out the branches, and it's a big chop there, a big chop there, a big one back there, and then I chopped off the main branches, the tops of the branches. So then I've just grown this. This one I'll just kind of do a bit of a hedge prune to this. This one's just in training, so I'm not too worried about cutting leaves or anything. It's kind of a hedging plant, so it kind of responds well to just getting chopped back. Long ones like this I will take out a bit further. Kind of roughly chopping it back to some sort of shape. We just want it to keep growing and thickening out. I've done a bit of wiring at the start just to get it into its kind of shape, And now I'm just going to try and do the rest clip and grow, the same with the last one I just worked on. I did the same with that. I wired the branches at the start, and then now I'm just trying to keep working on it, clip and grow method, so that I can reduce the amount of wiring I have to do. This guy looks like he could do with a bit of feeding. It's starting to get a bit, and it's quite dry as well. Like I could wire in a couple of these smaller branches, but that can be done at a later stage. I don't need to do that now. We'll just get them strong and healthy first, and then if need be we'll wire them, but with a bit of luck and directional pruning we can get them growing in the right direction. I think we could possibly reduce this one when these start to fill out a bit more, but that's why you kind of gotta keep them pruned, otherwise all the energy will start growing into the tip and the shoots, because it tends to grow straight up. You can see all the branches like to grow straight up, so you have to keep on top of the pruning on this. All the energy, you can see how healthy the shoots that are growing straight up are. So we're going to reduce their energy, try and get the energy into these other branches. Like that, when the tree is up to strength, then we'll start going in and really refining the branches and the branch structure and stuff. For now though, I'm just getting it growing as strong as I can. Like that, it needs a bit of food. I'll give it some feed, and I'll just put a bit of liquid fertilizer into the water and give it a good soaking. It's very dry, it's been very hot here the last few days, so I can only really water my trees once a day with work, so I need to try and give these a good soaking. So I tend to do that when I come home from work. I finish work earlier. I start early, finish early, so that I have time to come home, give them a good soaking, and that. So that is probably okay for that one. We'll just get that one growing. Like I said, we'll try and get this. I think this branch up here probably needs to thicken up more than this one down here. We'll probably end up taking this one off, but we'll leave it because this one's quite weak too, just in case. We may even have to bring this one round, we'll see. Okay, so that'll do for that one. It's just a quick hedge prune. I will give it a good weeding too. There seems to be a lot of this kind of star moss or whatever it's called, just starting to grow on the surface. So I'll scrape all that out when I water it. Okay, let's see what else we've got to do. Okay, this is a Chinese honeysuckle. I planted on a piece of bogwood. You can see the bogwood there. It's got a bit of sedum growing on it as well. Again, you can see how this was struggling for a while. The leaves have gone quite yellow and it was very thin. It was getting very thin and not doing great. So I sat in a bath of water with a bit of food and that in it, and left it for a few days to get a good soaking, good feed, and it's recovered well now. That was a couple of weeks ago, so it's been out the water now for a while, and it's starting to grow well again. So are the weeds, as always. So just pull out them. These pieces of bogwood I find it good for trees like this. This again was an ugly tree. You can see it had these roots, and then it had this kink in it, and a big ball here, and then the tree shot off in that direction in a straight line, and it was quite ugly. It was hard to plant it because it was just. But then I found this piece of bogwood, so I planted it on that with the roots at the front here, and you can't see it now, but you'll see it in a minute. I put it so that the straight branch is behind the bogwood here and poking out just side here, so you can't really see that dead straight bit because it's very brittle and hard to bend. So that's why I did that. Again, this one I'll just clean off all the suckers and give it like a hedge pruning, and again it can be sorted out for 1 to 1 day. Give it a good branch cleaning out and stuff, we can do that. But this time of the year I have so many trees and they're growing so fast that anything I can do by doing a bit of hedge pruning, then that's what I'll do, so that I can get through a few of them in the time I have to spend on them. Obviously if I was showing them or something like that, I wouldn't be just hedge pruning them, I'd be carefully going in, picking out which branches I want to keep, but I'm not showing them, so they can just be all roughly pruned back, just to help the growth and stuff, rather than it just getting longer and thicker in places. The first thing I'm going to do is take off all these suckers. You can see them all in the back here. They're just sucking energy out of the trunk, which we could do without. Here we seem to be having a few hot days lately, which is great, except for the fact that I have to spend more time watering, but that's alright. My barrels are not staying full, so I'm having to fill the barrel when I finish watering. I fill the barrel with the tap water hose, out the hose, and I mix a little bit of food in with it, and then at least it's left in the barrel for the night, so that I'm not using it straight from the tap. So I'm hoping that will clear some of the chlorine and stuff out of the water before I use it. So again, I'm just going to go in, kind of hedge prune this one into some sort of shape. Take any that are growing in the crotches of the branches out. Just going to separate the branch to get anything out from underneath, and growing down we'll take off. We'll do the same with this one. Underneath ones. Yeah, these pieces of bogwood I find good for planting trees on, because if they do start to suffer, you can soak it, and the bogwood will soak up some water eventually and hold it a bit longer. So they're good in that way, and they do last for years. Like this one. This one was in my fish tank for years, and now it's been used for this, and it's been doing fine. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of creating separate kind of pads. So we'll do the same here, taking off the underneath and going down. Again, we'll just try and create some separation. These branches going in here we'll get rid of. And maybe I'll take this one out so that we separate this pad here from that one. You can be quite ruthless with it, because It'll be filled out in no time again. Don't know about the sponge back here if I wanted or not. We'll reduce it back. We'll see then. Just take that one out the crotch in there. Like that. And now up here, we'll do the same again. Kind of creating space between each branch. I know when I trim it first it might look a bit like clumps, tight clumps, but once it starts to grow it kind of looks a bit more natural looking. It's just, you gotta be a bit ruthless when you're doing this. Little pad back here, we'll divide that one off. These guys are definitely better to do clip and grow with because they're very brittle, the branches. Not the easiest to bend. I did put quite a bend in that one, but as soon as I took the wire off, it set for a while and then it just straightened itself back out again. After a certain length of time, I looked and it just decided to go back straight again, so I didn't bother wiring it again. Have a look at that now. Here, can we reduce back a bit? Okay, so you can see there now why it's on this. This kind of hides this straight bit at the back. That wood, it's kind of, I seem to specialise in having ugly looking trees with ugly looking trunks and trying to figure out a way of disguising it. I have quite a few of them, but I kind of like the challenge of it, trying to make it look as natural as possible. Like, the reason why it's deformed, the trunk and everything, is because it was growing on the side of a piece of bogwood, so it had to shape itself to the wood. Okay, relieved to see them. It's doing alright, it's not too bad, not too long. Let's clean out all this clippings we've done. Check for any more suckers on there. Seems to be okay. Okay, so we've a fair old pile from them 3 trees. We need to prune the tumble. See if we can see we get a lot of pruning today. And just check there now. Check for me tweezers. Okay, they're up there. And just drop all that into the bin. I must try and get some more moss for these kind of plantings, but at the moment all the moss is either dried out or being too wet for too long. Okay, so we'll put 3 trees back up. Oh, that's the third one. Okay, so as always guys, if you like my videos, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we will try and keep going with as many videos as I can. I know a lot of the time I have to rush them a bit because I don't have a ton of time, and I can't do all these fantastic videos that people do where they edit them and stuff. I just don't want. I'd have to learn how to do it and stuff. One day maybe I will, but for now I just try and concentrate on working on the trees and try and get as many of the videos out as I can. So hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully you'll come back and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.